The fifth best trash talker ever, the OG Gary Payton. You can't mention the glove without putting trash talk in the same sentence. This man was a savage, and everyone knew it.
Gary's the only guy in history that can call a play and talk trash at the same time. 25-15, shut your stupid up. 25-15, come around the screen. Shut up, punk. I'm like, what?
Payton trash talked everyone all the time, and he was so insufferable that even his own coach couldn't stand him. Former Sonics head coach George Karl once said Gary Payton would trash talk him, the head coach, from the bench whenever GP was snubbed out. Karl's response for putting his player in check? Letting him play the entire game. Look what he said. Gary Payton is by far the best defensive point guard of all time, but he couldn't guard his mouth to save his life. Speaking of putting anyone in their place, the fourth greatest trash talker in NBA history, the late, great Kobe Bryant. When you have the Mamba mentality, you give 110% in everything, including trash talk. And that's why Kobe has one of the most iconic collections of talking trash. Like what he said about his former teammate Smush Parker. Smush Parker was the worst. He shouldn't have been in the NBA, but we were too cheap to pay for a point guard. Yikes! Kobe was such a savage that he once confiscated his signature shoes from his teammates because he thought the players were too soft. I mean, not even language barriers could keep this man from talking trash. The Black Mamba is the only player to learn other languages just to trash talk another man.
When I got drafted, all the Spurs talked about is how we have to beat the Lakers, you know? So it was a huge Spurs-Lakers rivalry. And so my rookie year, we played the Lakers in the semifinals. And Kobe spoke Italian, as you know. Mm-hmm. And so he said some stuff, but it was like not really good. And I said, man, you don't even talk French, you know? And so the year after, we played him again, you know, in the playoffs.
Wow.
And he was talking straight trash to me in French.
Wow.
And I was like, man, you learn French that fast.
If that isn't dedication, I don't know what is. Talking about being dedicated, the GOAT himself is the third best trash talker of all time. Michael Jordan was obsessed with everything basketball, including trash talk. And let's just say his mouth matched his skill. This man was so brutal that he once called Muggsy Bogues one of the most beloved players by his peers, a midget. Yeah, talk about being offensive in today's world. Jordan was so intense with his trash talk, he made one of the most mild-mannered players and his teammate Steve Kerr get into a fist fight with him. No one was off limits to Mike, no opponent, no teammate, not even the president at the time, Bill Clinton. During a game of golf, his airness said this to the president of the United States. This man really called the president of the greatest country in the world a little girl? He's an icon in basketball that struck fear into the hearts of his opponents. And all the best trash talkers of all time have horror stories to tell.
We're playing this exhibition game and Michael's going through the motion. And Chuck Person, who's on my team, who's a trash talker as well, is like, can you believe Michael Jordan, the guy everyone's talking about, who's supposed to be able to walk on water, you're out here killing him, Reg. This is in the first half. He's like, you should be talking to him. He's like, you know, you're right, Michael. Who do you think you are? The great Michael Jordan? That's right, there's a new kid on town, right? Kind of looks at me and starts shaking his head. So at half, I have 10 and he has 4 points, right? Into the game in the second half, he ended up with 44 and I ended up with 12. So he outscored me 40-2. And as he's walking off, he's like, be sure and be careful, you never talk to Black Jesus like that. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Black Jesus. I'm so sorry.
And we got out on him about 12-2. So I went over there, tapped him on the shoulder, said, hey man, if you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're going to blow you out today. Jimmy, his eyes got big. He broke the huddle. He hit a 3, and he's looking at me. So he came down again, hit another 3.
But what else do you expect from a guy that called himself Black Jesus?